Today's video is probably one of my favorites so far. This Graptopetalum paraguayense is my oldest plant. I've had it for about 3 years and you can tell it's been loved and neglected. This bowl was once filled with a bunch of succulents. It had sempervivum, some sort of agave, and a couple echeveria. But this was before I understood that drought tolerant meant you still had to water, just not as much. So everything else in the bowl perished and I was left with this amazing ghost plant that has dropped a bunch of leaves and sprouted all of these little baby graptos. It's getting a little out of hand, and if there's one thing I can't stand, it's brown shriveled leaves, and this thing is shredding like crazy. So today I'm going to behead the succulent, clean it up, add a little topsoil, and take it from wild and crazy to cute. So here we go. First things first, it's time for a trim. I've got this large cutting tool. I think it's used to cut rubber hose or something. And the only reason I'm using it is because it cuts straight across, no jagged edges. So I just use this for all of my cuttings and hacking away, and it works pretty well. First, I'm going to start by cutting these beautiful rosettes from their long, leggy stems. Some of them have been reaching for the sun, and it's time for a trim. I mean, look at all of these aerial roots just begging for some moisture. I think I'm going to keep these little ones in there. They're kind of cute. They can stay. So now I just want to get the little rosettes and just leave a little stem on there. All the extra leaves I'm going to set aside and keep for propagating in a propagation tray that maybe I can even grow some more of these great Graptopetalum paraguayense. So you can see the juicy stems cut straight across. Looks really good. I'm just going to set it aside and we're going to let that callus over for a few days, at least 24 hours, and replant it. I've got some dead leaf issues. We're going to clean that up. I don't want to attract any bugs with any decaying matter. So these little wrinkled leaves got to go. Next, I'm going to break up the soil a little bit. It's just been so compacted from just years of watering, and it needs to be broken up a little bit. I'm not going to go down too far. I don't want to mess up any roots, but I'm just going to kind of give it a little fluff. Next, I'm going to put in some new topsoil. This is kind of like a lazy way to repot, but I need to replenish some of the soil that's been lost through the bottom of the pot and just been lost from being compacted for so long. Got to get some dirt into some of those hard to reach places. Some of the dirt's pulled away from the side of the bowl, which just also says how dry it is. So I'm gonna put some dirt in there. Now, I don't like dirt on the top of my rosettes. You know how you can get free makeup brushes at the makeup counter when you spend so much? Yeah, keep those. They come in handy when you want to dust off your plants gently. So So here we have some of the leaves I collected. I'm just going to put them in a tray for now, let them callus over. All of my little rosette heads, I'm just going to set those out in a little paper plate for a day or so and let them callus over. Here's the big one, the big mama. So it's been about 24 hours and I'm ready to rearrange my arrangement. My handy dandy chopstick, another plant hack. All those fast food chopsticks, keep them. You never know when you might need one to plant some succulents. So I'm just gonna break up some of the dirt, put a little hole in there. Will make it easier for me to put my cutting down in the dirt gently. I probably should be wearing gloves. If you want to wear gloves, then you don't get any of the leaves dirty with your finger oils, but in hindsight, I should be wearing gloves. So you can kind of see here what it looks like after about 24 hours. It's kind of dried up, the end there. You want them to callus over so your cuttings don't rot when they're in the soil. You know what, this isn't going to work. I'm going to have to put the big one in the middle. That makes more sense. Let's try this again. So I'm just going to fill in some of the holes, some of the open spaces with the other little cuttings that I have. There's some more leaves. I'm just going to set them on the side. They'll probably sprout right in the pot. That's how these other little ones got in there. So just going to tuck them down in there and see what happens. There's my little tray, prop tray. So I'll get a bunch more Graptopetalum out of that little tray. And there you have it. There's my from crazy to cute arrangement. I'm going to put a little bit of water in here. I'm not going to overwater it because I don't want any of my cuttings to rot, but some of the plants that were rooted, I really felt like they could use some water. In hindsight, probably should have watered a few days before I did the cuttings, but it's okay. I think it'll be fine. This plant's really hardy and it's lasted this long, right? I don't think there's much I could do to it to kill it. So there you have it, my new succulent arrangement bowl. I hope you've enjoyed beheading these succulents with me. It was very cathartic. I enjoyed it very much. For more houseplant and succulent videos, subscribe to my channel and visit my website, suburbansil.com. And for daily plant fun, follow along on Instagram, where I post daily updates and fun close-up photos of my favorite plants. See you next time.